Hello, today I'm going to be talking you through my CMP501 submission and the testing that has been done to make sure it works under adverse network conditions. So, first of all, a little demonstration of how it connects. Right, so the way you would connect to another player is you'd go to this screen and then you'd take what it says on their screen for their local IP and you'd type it in, and then it would send a message to them asking to connect. For the purposes of this video, I'm going to connect to myself, so you should see that the opponent car actually comes towards where my car is and starts trying to come to my car's position. So we'll be doing that just to demonstrate the workings of the app. So 192.168.1.161. And this is it working under absolutely perfect network conditions. You see it comes over here. And we go around the track. And the car follows my position. As you may see a little bit of jitter when the car is attempting to turn. This is unfortunately due to the way that the graphics are rendered in this program. This game was part of a submission I made for another module, so all of the graphics here are by me, and the way that angles of rotation are calculated made it so that I couldn't get a perfect sort of interpolation for the angle. This is the best we can do, but it does keep to a perfect position under ideal network conditions. The most important part is that it is as far up the track as possible, because obviously that determines who the winner is. Just for a little demonstration of how it works under adverse network conditions, if we drop, say, 10% of the packets, start here, see we're listening on port 4444, so it's set up. So we drop some packets. This doesn't make terribly much difference to the way the game works because of the way it figures out how it should be moving. Just demonstrate that now. As you can see, it works more or less identically. A little bit of jitter in movement, but nothing too dramatic. And here we'll add some throttle and duplicate packets. Just due to the way that messages are processed within the code, it will ignore messages that appear out of order, and it'll ignore messages that try to move the car out with the screen. And it'll just use what it's got to try and pick up position. As you can see, the car, it's not perfect. It doesn't stay exactly where my car is. There's a little bit of odd movement here and there, but for the purposes of seeing where your point is going around the racetrack, it's pretty much perfect. It definitely handles lag less well, so we'll put in a little bit of lag to begin with, just to show how that works. That's 50 milliseconds of lag. Another thing I added is it would automatically pick the local player's IP if there was no input into that box, just to make testing easier. So 50 milliseconds of lag, it's not too bad. Again, there's some odd movement, but the most important thing is that the car you see as the opponent measures how far up the racetrack that their car is. So we'll make it 150 milliseconds of lag now. A little bit more glitching. You can see I put a warning in the top left corner for if there are network difficulties. It normally actually performs a little bit better than this. I believe that's because I am using Discord to put my voice through the computer, so it's actually adding even more lag than the 150 milliseconds we've added here in Clumsy. So normally it works pretty perfectly up to 200 milliseconds, or not perfectly, but as best can. So up to 200 milliseconds of lag. It should work. Well, you can see it's actually working a bit better now. This is the kind of performance I expect to see with 200 milliseconds of lag. You can see it's still moving a bit oddly, but the most important thing is that it's showing the position in the race. Finally, if lag goes a bit beyond 200, if we're getting silly amounts of lag, then the game should stop. So you can see here, it says in the top left corner, attempting to reconnect. It will do that for a wee while, and if it can't reconnect properly, it'll automatically close. So that is the way that this application handles errors, and I hope you enjoyed this video.